evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb TV 11 Evening News on this Monday, February the 17th. At the top of tonight's news, 22-year-old Cinnamon Lovell appeared in Magistrates Court this morning on charges of assaulting a female bus driver on February the 10th. Lovell of Sandys Parish was also charged with using threatening words against bus operator Fabian Harris on November 16th of last year. Lovell denied all charges. Last week, we saw Mr. Harris uploaded a video to YouTube of a woman who allegedly is Cinnamon Lovell, verbally attacking him on the bus. The video is 2 years old. However, Mr. Harris said he uploaded the video just days after bus operator Juliet Pierman Tucker was assaulted and left with a black eye, in order to show what bus operators are subjected to. In court, Senior Magistrate Archibald Warner granted Lovell $2,000 bail with one surety and set a trial date for May the 14th. She will reappear in court in April to face the charge of using threatening words against Mr. Harris. In political news, Premier Craig Canonier issued a statement overnight entitled "The Politics of Destruction and Division," in which he described Friday's sitting of the House of Assembly as a circus in which the PLP demonstrated the latest chapter in their party before country strategy. Towards the end of the statement, he makes the following observations, brought to you by VSB's Brian Darby.
The PLP will attempt to prolong this engineered controversy, and we will deal with it as we must. But it does not help the work of the government to restore confidence in the island, confidence that is vital to the future well-being of thousands of Bermudians who struggle every day to make ends meet. Bermuda's recovery from the maladministration of recent years is at a very delicate stage, requiring the best efforts from all of us, a national effort, to bring it about. We need everyone on deck pulling together. We don't expect the opposition to agree with all of our strategies and decisions, but the people of Bermuda have a right to expect opposition criticism to be constructive and substantive. I am sure the Friday House of Assembly session dismayed members of the public who were listening to the broadcast. I am sure many people were upset to hear the level to which so-called debate has fallen, despite the Speaker's efforts to maintain acceptable standards of behavior. As Premier, I will make sure the people's business remains our focus as we move the country forward towards safer streets, great schools, and new jobs for those out of work. The people of Bermuda want us to succeed, but it must be clear to all by now that Mr. Bean and his team do not. Brian Darby reporting for VSB News.
Thank you, Brian. In more political news, in Friday's debate in the House of Assembly, harsh allegations of accepting illicit deals and tape-recording conversations were thrown back and forth between the opposition leader Mark Bean and the Premier Craig Canonier. VSB's Julia Smatt took to the streets of Hamilton to ask the public what their reaction was to the row that took place, and the general consensus was that it was a sad day in politics for Bermuda.
What's your reaction to on Friday the situation between our opposition leader Mark Bean and the Premier Craig Canonier?
Politics as usual. I think both parties are struggling to see who's on top, and this is a part of the process.
Do you think that those were some pretty harsh allegations that were thrown the Premier's way?
To be honest, no more than usual. I think that it's, like I say, pretty much politics as usual.
And what would you like to see going forward? Parliament's about to reopen. Would you like to see more, as some people would term it, getting down to the people's business, or would you like to see them also sort out their differences?
Well, yeah, that's part of the people's business, is to sort out their differences and to the job we elected them to do. I think there's a lack of honesty amongst politicians, and they need to work on that.
It's extremely unfortunate. It's very sad. And I hope that level heads will prevail and they will discuss it and do whatever is best for everybody concerned, including and primarily concerning our country. I think that there were unfortunate remarks made by both parties.
Yeah, it's sad to see, actually, that the two parties have to fight each other over these petty things as opposed to deal the issues that really face this country.
Do you think that the allegations put forth were a little too harsh?
Yes, I do. And I don't know that that's the appropriate forum for those kind of allegations to be made, to be honest.
And what would you like to see going forward?
A lot less talk about allegations, a lot more talk about what we're going to do to turn the country around.
It sounds like a bit of corruption going on. It doesn't sound good for Bermuda in the situation we're in right now. Doesn't sound good.
Do you think that those were some harsh allegations thrown the Premier's way?
If they can be proven, then there won't be harsh allegations. So hopefully maybe they can be proven, and then we'll see what Bermuda will do next.
Transport Minister Sean Crockwell has announced that government is partnering with the Boeing Aviation Company to conduct a review of how Bermuda could establish itself as a Mid-Atlantic Aviation Control Center, thereby earning fees from the hundreds of planes that pass overhead every day. Mr. Crockwell gave credit to the opposition for coming up with the idea, which enabled Shadow Transport Minister Lawrence Scott to provide an explanation of how the scheme would work.
Although I glory in the fact that he's picked up the good initiative of the PLP when it comes to our air routes, our transportation, and actually keeping aircraft safe, I worry, and I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach before I can thoroughly commend him on the execution of this project.
Being linked with Boeing, though, that's a pretty good move, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very good move being linked with Boeing, especially with the 737, which is considered the workhorse of the aviation industry. But for us is that we can be linked with these great companies, but if Bermudians are not directly benefiting, then it's almost smoke and mirrors.
So what we're trying to do really is establish Bermuda as a mid-Atlantic entity of its own in many terms of use of airspace and, I suppose, navigation and safety.
Yes, because what we're trying to do now is take away a lot of the workload from the New York Oceanic, which is based in JFK. Because we do have over 200 flights that overfly us on a daily basis and at any given time, we can then start to control our own airspace, which goes from 5 miles. We can extend that to 40 miles, and with the implementation of this new system, we might be able to go even further, which means the further out we go, the more traffic we would actually control. The more traffic we're controlling, hopefully, if the minister does this according to the PLP's original plan, the more Bermudians we can employ. Instead of going from a simple air traffic control station, we can go to basically a navigational system.
Our location being our asset here.
Yes, our location is our asset, but also the fact that it's our record of safety here in the island that also plays a good part in it, and also the actual infrastructure that has been put in place with the runway that we have, the increased lighting that we do have, and the amenities and facilities that we do provide.
And when we come back, Police Cadet recruitment scheme attracts 50 applicants for the 8 positions. But up next, let's take a look at the weather preview with Jay Barker.
Thanks, Selena. Hey, let's take a look at the Doppler radar. Well, you can see a little bit of moisture in the area, but it pretty much stayed cool and dry today. Will that cool weather stay around? I'll have more coming up later.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz, and I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Bermuda Heart Foundation on the founding of the first dedicated cardiac prevention and rehabilitation center in Bermuda. The foundation's goal is to raise the level of awareness of heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death in Bermuda. Our physicians will work with the Bermuda Heart Foundation in training local medical personnel at the foundation. Again, congratulations to the Bermuda Heart Foundation for taking a firm stance in the fight against heart disease.
Hi, I'm Diane Carlson. I'll be broadcasting live from the Coldwell Banker Bermuda Realty Home Show at Cedar Bridge Academy on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 noon during the Rick D's weekly Top 40 on Mix 106 FM. Stop by and say hello.
And welcome back to Vsb Tv 11. The Bermuda Chamber of Commerce has issued its wish list for the 2014 budget, due to be tabled in Parliament on Friday, February the 21st, starting with a general wish that a clear statement be made by Finance Minister Bob Richards on when Bermuda can expect to see a balanced budget. On the real estate front, the Chamber wants to clear rules to allow exempt companies to purchase homes, allow PRC holders to purchase any property on the island, to lower the tax payable by non-Bermudians who buy property, to allow foreign property owners who have sold their Bermuda property to purchase a new property without further red tape, and to abolish the need to sit a local driving test if one already has an international driving license. In the retail sector, the Chamber would like to see payroll tax exemption for employers and employees extended to keep businesses operating and extend the duty relief on all upgrades, fixtures, and fittings. The restaurant simply wants an extension of the payroll tax exemption for employers so that the apparent recovery of profits will be maintained in the years ahead. In other news, during the latest recruitment drive by the Bermuda Police Service, more than 50 young people, an almost unprecedented response, applied to become cadets. After an exhaustive selection process, 5 female cadets and 3 males were selected for recruitment, the number determined by the amount of financial resources available, and they start work on next Monday. National Safety Minister Michael Dunkley told Parliament it was an encouraging sign, which was being mirrored in the fire services and the regiment.
It was very gratifying, I'm sure, to the police and to the ministry as well, because now we can educate people, and at the same time we could teach them a career opportunity that's very important. Now, whether they continue to stay in the police service for 3, 5, 10 years afterwards, that doesn't really matter, because people are getting educated and they're better people and they can move forward to grab whatever career they want. I believe a career in the Bermuda Police Service can be very rewarding, and a lot of those cadets will stay. And MP Lister focused in on the number of people that applied, and it's not unexpected in this environment that you would have a reasonable number of people apply. But because of the budget constraints, we couldn't take everybody, and so we'll look to see how we can continue the cadet program, continue to try to get more people involved in it, and continue to try to use the interest those people have expressed moving forward to get them into a real uplifting career.
And the happy position is that you have a reserve of goodwill and interested people probably waiting for the chance.
Yeah, I think so. If you reflect back a few years when the economy was booming, it was very difficult to attract people for a number of positions throughout the whole working area. But we've seen that change. And so, while nobody wants a poor economy and you want people employed and things like that, within the Ministry of National Security, we see good quality people come forward not only for the cadet program, but actually for the recruit class. And we will have another recruit class coming on for full-time police officers sometime in the next few months. Right. But we've seen that, with the applications to the Corrections Department, where there's currently a recruit class going on. And I think that is really important, because these careers are challenging careers, and we need the very best of individuals to come forward and get the training. And we're having good intakes going forward, and I think that's going to serve those bodies well, but it will serve our community even better.
And as part of our recognition of Black History Month, there will be 3 more movies featured this week on Vsb Tv 11, and 2 of them are fresh to the series on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. We feature Black Power Mixtape, which is a documentary made by a team of Swedish journalists on their coverage of the Black Power movement and the shocking difference they found in the way American media were portraying the struggle. On Wednesday at the same time, the controversial film Dark Girls, which explores the prejudice faced by dark-skinned women, makes its debut. And on Thursday, you can enjoy Glory with Denzel Washington and the 54th Massachusetts Black Regiment. Now here's a look at the daily markets presented by Bias.
Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. The U.S. dollar retreated against a basket of major currencies as soft U.S. economic data stood in contrast to better figures out of the euro and China. In the U.S., markets were closed today in observance of President's Day. On Bermuda, 100 shares of Argus Group Holdings traded today on the Bermuda Stock Exchange. The stock price rose 8.75% to $4.35. Bank of Butterfield rose 2.94% to $1.75, with 2,700 shares trading hands. European indices had mixed performance on the day. The FTSE 100 rose 1.09% to 6,736 after reports showed that asking prices for British homes rose this month. The Milan IB rose 0.11% to 20,460. Pacific Rim indices were up on the day. The Hang Seng rose 1.07% to 22,536. The Shanghai H rose 0.92% as the loan figures and improving trade in January offset signs of a slowdown in manufacturing. The Mexican Bolsa rose 0.09% to 40,748 as an advance in oil prices boosted the outlook for energy exports. Brazil's Bovespa retreated 1.3% to 47,576 as analysts cut Brazil's economic growth estimates. Australia's central bank is signaling that its success in weakening the currency will spur inflation, adding more pressure to its bonds. The Australian 10-year yield remained unchanged on the day at 4.16%. The US dollar retreated against the euro and Canadian dollar. The Japanese yen dropped 0.13% versus the US dollar as a report showed Japan's economy expanded less than expected. And that was a look at today's markets, brought to you by Bias.
Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday, on 41 Victoria Street in Hamilton for your home appliance and hardware needs. Sears, washers and dryers, refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, a large array of Craftsman tools and accessories, lawn and garden tools, fitness equipment, outdoor furniture, barbecue grills, and much, much more. Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday. Sears, bringing Bermuda the best variety at everyday low prices.
In celebration of Black History Month, the Defunce Broadcasting Company Limited is proud to present films acknowledging the contributions made by black people throughout the world. See these historic films at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays during Black History Month. On Vsb Tv 11, sponsored by Belco, Lindo's, Gibbons Company, Bermuda Bistro, Caesar's Pharmacy and Sports R Us.
And up next, we have People and Places with Charles Webb.
People and Places with Charles Webb is brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Fine art covers many things. But when you're doing patent art, well, that's another point. Gretchen Gurr has taken her years of coloring and produced a very fine art. Trained as a graphic artist, Gretchen Gurr uses her pens and pencils to create art that could easily be mistaken for photography. The details are that precise. How does she do it?
This little pen, all different nib sizes, and that helps me with the thickness of each pattern. Sometimes I'll start out with a very, very thin nib and I'll end up with the thickest one, just to outline and create the heavier lines in the patterns.
To create something like the hog, how long would it take you?
It would take me probably a couple of weeks, because there's only so much I can do in a day because it is so intensive.
When you're creating these patterns, you already have your design in mind, but what about colors? I notice these are all black and white. Do you do color also?
I do some color, but I have found in the past that if I put colored pencil as a background in the pattern, it detracts from the pattern and it doesn't have as crisp a feel. Though I do get some people who do commissions and request that color be put in there, but I tend to prefer to be just black and white.
So when someone commissions you, they will say, well, I want a fish, I want an owl.
Yep, they do. Hippos, elephants, hummingbirds, cats, you name it. Pets, dogs, anything.
Is it fair to say that this is exacting work?
Well, it is, but it's also very forgiving, because a pattern, you can have error and you don't know it. So if you make a mistake, then it can be changed, it can be added, or something else can be put in its place.
Who would collect patterns?
Probably fabric designers. There are a lot of patterns in fabrics, and that's really an excellent resource, that and wallpaper, because everything is a repeat pattern.
If you had to pinpoint a favorite pattern of yours, what would that be?
Well, I would have said a checker, and one of these with dots in it. But then I was recently told by somebody not too long ago, everything you have in there has checkers. And I didn't realize that it is obviously my favorite pattern because it is so bold and contrasting within the object. So I've tried to stay away from some of the checkers and be a little bit more different, but also finding that bold black and white contrast. I purposely pick objects which are very distinctive in their outlines. So when you see the lionfish, you know exactly that it's a lionfish because of all the fins, and there's a lot going on. This is so much fun. It's because it takes its own shape, it takes its own energy, so you never know what it's going to turn out to be.
Even though this is exacting, to Gretchen Gurr, it's fun. Here at her studios, ditto in Paget for People and Places. I'm Charles Webb, Vsb News.
People and Places with Charles Webb has been brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
It's our fantastic February savings event going on now. We have something for every room of your home and incredible savings all month long. Browse around our site to find exactly what you're looking for. New styles, new colors, a new look for your home. We have a huge selection of beautiful furniture and amazing prices that won't last long. So stop in today. You won't want to miss our fantastic February savings event going on now.
And in sports tonight, the former Silver City, home of the Somerset Trojans, now have a 1-point lead over the Dandytown Hornets in the Premier League after a 2-1 win over the weekend. Flanagan Onions moved into third with a 5-2 victory over Wolves, but all that could change tonight when Devonshire Cougars host North Village Rams in a make-up match that was washed out on Friday night. Hamilton Parish Hot Peppers jumped out of the relegation zone with their 3-1 win over Southampton Rangers. Parish's coach, Kershawn Smith, and striker Donovan Thompson had this reaction after the much-needed victory.
Great team character by Hamilton Parish. Yeah, we're here to survive. We've done a lot of good things this season, and we're trying to grow for everything we've done. We have a young team, and for us, survival is the ultimate key for us. Every game from now on for us is a cup game, and as we've done good in the cup games, we're looking to take this game that much further and give thanks for the team commitment. 2 excellent goals from Donovan Thompson, and that's where we're at right now, survival.
Yeah. Donovan, 2 good goals.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let the team survive, trying to be one of the best strikers in Bermuda right now, just trying to score goals right now. Yeah, I'm proud of my team, I'm just trying to survive. That's all that is to it.
Yeah. Back to you, Smith. This is 3 big points.
Yeah, 3 big points. It lifts us above Rangers. It takes us away from the guys that are down there who are competing with for survival, and it gives us a chance to continue to move forward, continue to do the correct things, for the team to continue to believe in one another. It's not an easy road. We all go through our ups and downs, but this is what it's all about. Sticking in, getting the work done, and making our community and all our fan base proud of what we're trying to do down the Hamilton Parish Club.
Meantime, St. George's Colts moved into second place in the first division with a hard-fought 3-2 win over Boulevard Blazers. Their captain and vice-captain said promotion is the name of the game.
I'm named Jelani Collington, captain of St. George's Colts. Today was a hard-fought victory, but we, persevered, kept on fighting, and overcame. Our main goal this year is promotion back into Premier Division. We're down in First Division. This is not really division for us. So we're just main goal is promotion, winning our last few games, and that will secure us the victory.
Mackay Simmons, I'm vice skipper. First half was a little shaky, but we guys got back into our rhythm second half. Came up with the victory,
All right. Did I see you score early in the second half?
Yeah. Good goal, yeah.
Yeah, good goal. Yeah. All right. Now, what's next for St. George's Colts? You got Robin Hood that's bucking for a position. Devonshire Colts is also in the mix. Who do you have next, and how many matches left, and how do you rate your chances?
I rate our chances great. We have to all play all the top teams. They also have to play each other, so somebody's going to lose points. Our main focus is just to get our 3 points and use every game as a final.
Okay. And the next match is against who?
The next match is against Social Club.
At home?
No, it's at Bernard's Park.
All right, all right. So how do you feel about your promotion chances?
was great. Like Skipper said, we has a good chance of getting up. It's up to us.
Right.
You know, we just got to take every point that we could get.
We understand that a small leak can cause water disruption in a commercial building. And we know what it's like to have a pipe burst in your home at 11 o'clock at night. That's why for BAC Plumbing Services, there's no job that's too big or too small to handle at any given time. Our master plumbers are trained with the right expertise to finish the job in record time and at competitive rates. We are unique like none other. We stand vigilant 24 hours, 7 days a week. Some call us the Special Forces of Plumbing, the Green Beret of Pipes, the Navy SEALs of the sink. You get the point. Call BAC at 292-0881 or visit BAC.bm for more information or for a free estimate. BAC Plumbing Services. There's no piping system too big to handle and no leak too small to fix.
Well, the cold weather continues right through to the beginning of the week and made me go and get my beard out of storage. I'm Jay Barker, and this is your weather. Take a look at our weather shot for today. Well, you can see it was actually a very pleasant looking day. Lots of blue skies and everything, but it had a real chill to the air. Thanks to Dennis for sending this in. Lovely shot of City Hall this morning. Our highs and lows for today. High temperature was 68. You can see didn't really get that hot at all at 12 p.m. and our low temperature 63 at 6 a.m. this morning. Currently, we're looking at 64 degrees, humidity is 60%. Winds out of the northwest at 17 knots. You could definitely feel that. Little breezy out there, and the barometric pressure is rising slowly at 30.03 inches. Rainfall so far for the month, we've seen 4.74 inches. That's not much off of what we'd have normally seen. Brings our total to 10.97 inches for the year. And you can see way over 2 inches up of what we'd normally seen, 8.34 inches. Take a look at our satellite map. Well, the winds will veer northerly and decrease tonight as this high pressure builds out across our north. Now, fair weather will hold on Wednesday, but for a weak front, brings in a few showers on Thursday. Now, fair weather should return on by the end of the week with high pressure reestablishing itself right over our area. In the gateway cities, it'll be 67 and partly cloudy in Atlanta. Snow is likely in 35 in Boston. Charlotte, partly cloudy, 64 degrees. London, light rain in 52. 81 and sunny in Miami. New York, snow, 43 degrees. Orlando, mostly sunny, 80 degrees. 43 and mostly cloudy in Philadelphia. Toronto, light snow and 32 and 49 and partly cloudy in Washington. For tonight, we're looking at a low temperature of around 58, so cuddle up, everybody. Winds out of the northwest at 8 to 22 knots, veering northerly, and then they'll decrease to 10 to 15 knots overnight. For tomorrow, we're looking at a high temperature of just 65 degrees. Definitely chilly. Bring your coat. Northeast out of the winds for 8 to 12 knots, and they will move to the east and drop off to 5 to 10 knots, and then they'll veer southerly at night. For Mariners tonight, there is a small craft warning in effect. Seas inside the reef 2 to 3 feet. Seas outside the reef choppy 6 to 12 feet. And that sea temperatures actually come up all the way to 70 degrees. For Mariners tomorrow, still a small craft warning in effect. 1 to 2 feet inside the reef. Outside the reef, 5 to 10 feet. High tide is at 10:22 a.m. and low tide is at 4:25 p.m. Take a look at our 5-day forecast. Well, tomorrow it is going to remain a little bit cool, generally partly cloudy, high of 65. Wednesday, mostly sunny, temperature will come back to 70 degrees. Thursday, partly cloudy, couple of showers, high of around 71. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 72. And Saturday, partly cloudy, and a great day it looks like, high of around 73. I'd like to thank the Bermuda Weather Service for all their help. That's it for me. Good to see you again. I'll see you again real soon.
And we thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us at Vsb Tv 11. Good night, Bermuda.
Vsb Tv 11, Bermuda.